iPhone 16 Pro Max, greatest phone ever made. Or is it? We don't know. We're going to debate it. This is my fiance, Sarina. We're both photographers, and this is the very first iPhone that either of us has bought in like brand new on launch day, got it, set it up. Yeah, so new phones come out on Tuesday, and we actually have just under a year and just want to give our thoughts and opinions, mostly on the photography stuff, but we'll talk about the phones, and I thought we'd do it on a hike, so let's go. This is this thing I was actually the most excited to talk about, was the iPhone camera button. Apple kind of advertised this as your phone is now really a camera. You know we killed the phone or the camera market, but like now it's really a camera. You have a camera button. You can press it to open the camera app. You can like half press to like lock autofocus or like exposure, and then you can like fully press it, and then it's like haptic and like touch sensitive, so you can like switch between all these modes like a real camera dial. Sarina, tell them how good it is.
It's bad.
It's horrible.
It's also why we bought our phone.
Yeah,
so it's funny.
Yeah, like young John in my young YouTube career, I was like, hey, iPhone's a poppin' video. I could talk about this, and I'm a photographer, and there's a good reason to, upgrade. Our phones were dead. Yeah, like both of our batteries were depleted. I was like, I'm a photographer. I'm gonna go crazy.
We need the photographer camera.
Yeah, we need the photographer camera.
Phone.
I do use it, but purely to open the camera app and literally nothing else.
I do not use it because it doesn't function for me at all.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if it's because I normally have long nails, or how my fingers are shaped. I don't know. It's really depressed.
My nails are not that long.
It's like in the phone. Like,
well, she uses a case. She uses a case. I am caseless, so for me, it's actually not that bad. Yeah,
it's terrible on my case.
Yeah, it'll see control. She has like a divot, like right there, and it's just you kind of gotta like get your hand in there.
My finger doesn't work for that, and then when I do it, yeah, there's like weird half hold stuff, so it like doesn't take the picture immediately. It'll be like it'll open the app, and then it's like, do you want to take a picture again? And I'm like, well, yes, that's what I was doing.
Opening the camera app like immediately, like pulling it out of my pocket, and I can like open the camera app like as I'm pulling my phone out of my pocket is great. I don't use it for literally anything else, and if anything, it drives me nuts because I'll like accidentally swipe my finger on it, and it'll like change the focal length, or it'll change the tone, or it'll like switch to portrait mode for any because.
And when you're trying to get a picture really quick, that's super unhelpful.
And then actually, okay, so this is the thing. It wasn't there at release. They released it later, like the half press for like certain functions. Never used it. And
I think that's what always trips me up.
Yeah,
I think that's what I always do.
They didn't announce it, and I think it's because it's not good. But they did add it. On top of that, my other biggest beef with it is it's kind of just too firm. Like, even on this camera, like the point and shoot here, like it's soft so that if I'm taking a photo at a slow shutter speed, it's not going to shake the camera.
So true.
The iPhone one, I feel like you have to so firmly clamp it that you'll shake the phone.
Agree.
You'll like get micro jitter, especially if it's like low light or something like that. This is what I will say. I hope that they don't get rid of it. I hope they just make it better.
Yeah.
But
there's potential.
There is potential. I'm actually pro touch bar on the old MacBooks and stuff. I seem to like bad Apple features. I hope this one sticks around. I do think it'll stick around because one day in 20 years when Apple finally has decent AI, I think that that's really what they want it to be there for, is so that you can be like, how do I open a fridge? And you can take a photo of it, and the AI will tell you how to open a fridge. Really? Yeah, no, it does work. Here, I can literally show you right now. Here, this is a live test. So if I actually hold this, it opens up like the AI mode, and I can like take it. Yeah, this is new. So I can take a photo of this, and I can say search. It's not going to show up. It's way too dark.
Okay, we'll put it on.
And it's going to say this is a Canon Powershot V1, which it is. But now I can, take a photo of a McDonald's cup. Yeah, and be like, what McDonald's? That makes no sense. I'm so sorry. This is unscripted, actually. No, it's not. I wrote every word, and it was all thought out.
Sure.
Camera button, would you recommend?
I just don't use it. I don't know if I'd recommend.
I use it to open my camera.
Cool.
It's an opening. It's like a can opener, but for your camera.
And I think a lot of people like their phones for taking photos.
So I think
it's important, and I think it's good that they brought it, but I don't know that it's awesome.
Yeah, it's half baked. I hope they stick it out. I hope they make it better. And Okay, kind of a stupid one. I just want to say what our favorite feature is on the whole phone because we're both coming from 12 Pro Maxes, which was also evident in us having actually very similar opinions. I just want to say what our favorite thing was that kind of surprised us. For me, I actually think the speakers are pretty decent. I am chronically addicted to YouTube, Netflix. Audio has to play at all times. You can never hear your own thoughts. And the speakers are actually surprisingly pretty good. Like if I want to listen to a song, it's good enough that I can be like, this song is good or bad. It's not the best listening experience, but surprisingly pretty solid for a phone.
And a lot better.
And a lot
than
better.
The last one
Yeah.
Than the 12. My favorite feature is also kind of silly, but I love that the screen brightness can get way lower because I hate at night when it's like too bright. It's still a little too bright, but it goes a lot lower. That's something about the screen or something.
Yeah, and I watch videos sometimes to fall asleep, so it probably makes it a little easier for her.
Yeah.
But on to the next. Okay, so we all know that every Apple product is 100% perfect and has zero flaws, but we do have a least favorite part of the new phone. For me, the overall glitchiness of this phone beginning to end, this has probably been my absolute worst Apple product as far as just random crashes. The camera app gets a little unresponsive. And then I do think that the macro mode kind of sucks, as well as the main sensor. It just needs too much distance for minimum focus distancing. So you have to kick over to the wide angle for anything you're like trying to take a quick close photo of. And it sucks if it's even like a little bit dark.
Or they'll do macro and it still sucks. It just makes it worse quality.
It literally is the worst. Yeah, you'll be like in the car trying to take a photo of like the beautiful landscape. And it's like, you want to take a photo of the dirty glass?
Right. And then it won't figure it out.
Yeah, no, the macro auto detection is god awful.
Yeah.
Least favorite.
In my least favorite.
Wait, what? Sorry. Oh. I was terrible. I hit the stop. I didn't let a woman speak.
So now I get to speak the rest of the time. My least favorite thing is that the camera button was a huge L.
Yeah, we're photographers.
Well, it's hard for me to press. I don't know if it's because I have long fingernails usually.
Hold them up.
Well, they're not that long right now.
They're not that long right now.
But it's really hard for me to press the button. When I do press the button, it like does a weird mode where it's taking like 5 or something, or it like is waiting for me to press it again. Like it just doesn't work very well.
Camera button is an L. All right, so enough of like the fluffy opinions, the actual meat and potatoes, the camera, the main sensor is what I want to start with here. On the iPhone 16 Pro Max, Apple's a big company. It's kind of embarrassing if the main camera isn't good. So Sarina's going to give it to us. Is it good?
It's okay.
It's okay. I will say, of all the years, of all the iPhone photos I've taken, this has probably been one of the most glitchy. As far as
Super glitchy.
I will open it up and like the camera app has extreme lag, or the shutter lag's really bad where I like click it and it takes a photo a second later. So for being a device to like actually take like everyday photos of like all your most important moments, it's been the least reliable, especially coming from a 12 Pro Max.
Even just right now, I went to take a photo.
Yeah, we're taking product photos for her new stickers, which we'll plug in the bottom.
True.
But
yeah,
even then, it was terrible trying to get those.
A year later.
It's a year later. It has gotten progressively better, so I will give software updates to that. That being said, the 48 megapixels has been pretty solid. Like I think that digital crop from 1 times to 2 times, in my experience, has been pretty solid.
That's John's opinion.
She doesn't agree with me. I think when you step outside that 1 to 2 times, like once you go past 2 times and you're trying to jump the gap between 2 times and 5 times, it looks really bad really quickly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
As far as like the colors and stuff, I think out of the box it doesn't look that good. But if you go into the photo profiles or whatever Apple calls them, and you make it a little warmer and a little heavier contrast, I think they look pretty good out of the box and they don't need much touching up.
Well, and with those tones things,
yeah,
those are nice.
I'm not a huge night mode guy. Like usually if I'm shooting astrophotography or something like that, I'm going to use like a main camera. But just like bar photos or anything like out having fun at night.
You can get pretty good star photos.
Yeah, you can get good star photos, but just like
I got some really cool photos of the moon actually this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was pretty impressive.
It's not Samsung with the AI moon.
Not crazy, but for it being on a phone,
it's pretty okay. Yeah. But the main sensor, I think it's a situation where if it's bad, that's outright embarrassing on Apple's part. But I wouldn't go so far to be like, I'm an iPhone photographer. I don't think it's so good or so reliable that I'm like, I actually like this year with the photo button and all that stuff. I was like, oh, I'm going to do like a whole video series on like doing all types of photography. And I just haven't found it that impressive that I'd rather just shoot with my camera and get good photos and not like for the sake of a video, shoot photos and have them be subpar. I think it's good for something that's in your pocket every day, but I think getting like a dedicated camera, like a Fuji or a Sony or a Canon or anything like that that can, is on the smaller size compact, stepping up to like a 1-inch sensor or something like that, I think is genuinely beneficial enough for most situations.
Yeah.
I don't think that most people want to carry a camera, but I don't know. The thing about photography on a phone is it's very computational where they're stitching photos together. And I think that phone photos have very much a phone photo look where the sky is, very brought down, the shadows are very lifted. And I think that's why a lot of people have had beef, especially with the portraits on the phone photos.
It's bad.
They lift the shadows, they over sharpen.
Sharpen stuff that's not there or should be sharpened.
No one should know I have acne.
Yeah. Genuinely though.
But the main sensor is fine. It's embarrassing if it was bad. It's definitely just not great. On to the next one. Okay, up next is my personal favorite lens, the ultra wide, also known as the 0.5, high five. That's how we feel about it. This one was the one I was the most excited for this year because it actually did step up from, I think, I should know this. I don't because remember,
put it on the
I wasn't good at school, if you can tell. It had a jump up in megapixels this year, and for me, this wasn't new, but it was new to me, was the macro capabilities. This is what I'll say about the ultra wide. Still my favorite lens because the focal length is fun for like taking selfies or just having like fun party photos or getting like the whole landscape in front of you. The improvements were not as dramatic as I was hoping coming from a 12. I think that the low light capabilities are still god awful, which it's not its fault. It's physics and light and stuff like that. I just think it gets really soft really quick, which is frustrating because they use it for the macro mode that actually kicks in pretty quick. And it's just so quick to be low quality when you're just trying to take a photo of something close by. What do you think about it?
I like it. I always like the ultra wide. If you use flash, it doesn't really matter.
It's true. If you use flash, which you should be in any kind of party situation, it looks great anyway. And then the best is when you get it really close in someone's face and they look absolutely insane.
True.
I'll put a photo of me looking insane, maybe.
But yeah, we like it.
We love it. It's probably my favorite photo. It's probably my favorite.
It's the most fun.
Yeah, it's the most fun lens, and I think it has a lot of personality when you shoot with that one. Is it a huge jump over what we got with the 12? No, but it's still fun.
Yeah, we still like it.
On to the next. Okay, last and certainly least, the telephoto lens. Okay, it's really not that bad. It's about a 70 millimeter zoom equivalent, I believe.
The 5 times?
Yeah, it's a 5 times. Okay, so this is my beef. Is I know for a long time it was like a 2 times, and then it was a 3 times, and now they do the 5 times, which is great. But the quality difference between the 2 times and the 5 times is really god awful. I think it's like some of the worst photos this camera takes, which it's just very anti-Apple because in the fact that I know that and I know to avoid those focal lengths, but the whole point of Apple is it's supposed to be so easy that even your grandma can do it. What are your thoughts?
Well, I will actually say I think the 5 times is better than previous zooms. Like I actually think it performs better than like my past phones.
2 times I think was on the 12.
Yeah. Well, no, just whatever like the furthest one is.
Yeah.
So I actually don't have a lot of beef with it. I think it works better than any other zoom that's been that close.
Best zoom yet. I expect them to defy physics every single year.
I will say past 5 times, it's not.
Okay, yeah, it goes up to.
I mean, it's helpful.
Yeah.
But like, they can only do so much.
I actually like it for video specifically, which we will talk about in a second.
The 5 times?
Yeah, just because this camera right here that I'm using, it actually caps out at 50 millimeters. So if I want to get something just a little further, I'll use the iPhone. And it's good enough that no one notices me blend it in.
Yeah.
And then I do like it for, if you're familiar with like photo compression, which is where like you can have a person or like a foreground object look closer to the background because you're using a tighter focal length. You're at the point where you can start to get that effect just a little bit.
100%.
If I had to rank them just at the very end here, I would definitely do main sensor, ultra wide, telephoto in that order. Would you agree?
I really just don't think that the zoom's that bad.
I don't think it's bad. I just think it's the worst of the 3 front-facing ones, and I think it's still 12 megapixels. It's the lowest resolution, and it's just kind of on an island. I like it. I just think it's the worst of the primary lenses.
I can't rank.
Can't rank.
I love them all.
We love them all equally. On to the next. All right, and finally is the selfie camera. This is the one that I use the most. I'm always taking selfies in the mirror before we go out. Actually, not really. I mostly use it for some video clips here and there because I suck at shooting blind. I need the front-facing, like I need to see myself on the screen, which the one thing I will give the selfie camera is it's nice because I think looking at the screen, it's usually good enough that you look like you're looking at the lens. Whereas with this one, if I look at myself, I feel like I'm really looking off camera at you. But the selfie camera, Sarina's going to have the most accurate opinions.
So it's good.
It's good.
I have a lot of beefs with it, but it's good.
TikTok girlies be damned.
Basically, it's definitely higher resolution than the last phone, which is good. Like I said, those tone things are really nice for selfies. However, the what you see in the
viewfinder,
like the screen,
you'll be like, I like beautiful.
Take a photo is often wrong, which is frustrating.
Mostly in like, I feel like when she'll show me, it's like the contrast and the shadows and stuff. It looks like way more contrasty in the viewfinder. And then when you actually take it,
it looks like softer.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, it just clearly like does a lot of processing after you take it, but it usually looks worse.
We'll put in an example.
Yeah, she took a screenshot.
I take a bunch because I get really mad every time.
No, there's people on TikTok who are so mad at the new selfie cameras that they like keep old iPhone like 11s
just to take their selfies.
Just to take their selfies,
which is crazy
because they think
necessary.
The new formula, it's
it just really like sharpens the wrong things on selfies. Also, it's like the front-facing camera, so I'm kind of like, don't you know that they're going to be a picture, like a picture of you? You know, it's not like mountains where you need the sharpness super up, right?
Yeah.
And usually when it's like backlit, that's when it happens.
Yeah, but selfie camera, in my opinion, if I had to really rank them, main, ultra-wide, telephoto, selfies last. On to the next. Okay, so kind of not the end of the camera section here, but I wanted to just talk about video in general, just broadly speaking. And I think what Apple's really been pushing towards is kind of like a perfect vlog setup. And you do have people, using phones for, shot with the iPhone, like for literal production sets, and then also everything down to like YouTube. It is a very good video tool. I think Apple, hands down, has some of the best video on the market. I think for a vlog setup, though, I think you're better off getting a dedicated vlog camera for 3 reasons. For one, on the video, when you do the panning, like from 0.5 all the way up to the 5 times, because it's 3 different lenses and not one smooth zoom, you'll get like the stuttering, like where
it's insane.
Because it's moving like a 1/4 of an inch over, so it'll kind of have like a weird perspective shift. And then I think you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't situation with the front-facing camera. It's kind of a softer, worse video, but if you use the main camera, you're kind of just firing blind and hoping you're getting everything you want. What's your experience with the video?
I actually really like the video on this camera. I actually think it performs really well. I feel like it's really clear. I mostly use video for like TikToks or like personal videos, like beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it actually works really well.
Yeah.
I've actually found to really like it, and I like all 3 zoom options as well.
Yeah. It's just, I think that you kind of want to lock in on it.
Yeah, you definitely have to choose one.
Yeah, you don't want to like zoom.
Length.
Yeah, and I mean, it's fine. It's just it very clearly like outs you for shooting on an iPhone, which I don't think is inherently bad.
Well, like what I do is I'll just, if I want 2 focal lengths, I'll just shoot 2 separate videos.
It's just, I think it can be a little distracting.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that Apple really advertised was the audio, the mics being way better. I do think it's way better than past iPhones, but I don't think it's like so good that you can like skip the lav and just like shoot in a crowded street and like sound like you're in a studio, like the ads kind of like implied. But it's definitely good enough. But I mean, for like my own videos, like Instagram, TikTok, stuff like that, I find myself using a lav over the phone because it's good enough that it's a big enough difference that I think it's necessary. And I think that even with the upgrades to the mic, I think it's bad enough that people will scroll off your content like on that alone, that it sounds echoey or it sounds just kind of hollow or tinny. It is better than other phones on the market. It's better than past iPhones.
Right.
I just think they advertise it as like, just buy our $1,200 phone and you don't need anything else. And I think that's a little disingenuous.
Yeah. Well, they've always been liars about
Apple has never been a liar. They've only done good for the world.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, team. These are your closing statements from the jury. I actually don't know how law works. That's probably not right. Final thoughts. A few things I didn't mention. I do like the dynamic island, but I have found I have to turn it off on some apps. Like I like the Apple Sports app, but I don't like, I was like, I was like, I kind of like these teams. Like I'll have them in my favorites, but then it was annoying where it's like a baseball team. And so they play like every single day. And I'm like, my whole live notification is just taken up by like the Cubs and White Sox. They're going to lose. I don't need a notification to tell me that. The other thing is the phone is titanium. I'm not a case user.
So he really
I actually,
experiences that.
yeah, I actually thought the titanium was like the stupidest thing ever. I actually was pleasantly surprised that it is noticeably like lighter and more durable, which I find funny because the rumors is that they're going to go back to aluminum across the line. Rumors aren't worth much, but I just thought that was funny that I genuinely have enjoyed that. Um, that's it. That's all I can really think of.
Also, it was funny because John was like, "What do you think about the dynamic island?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
No, literally, stupid Apple marketing
Which I
terms.
do actually know what it is now, and I do like it. I like that I'll show the music.
It'll tell me I'm on a
I
phone
really
call.
like when it's a timer.
Yeah, timer.
The timer is really helpful, but also it doesn't. There's nothing else really that I use it for.
This is what I'll say. If you are in a situation where you're going to buy the new iPhone that comes out next week, which I have no idea what that phone is going to be like, the iPhone 16 has been underwhelming. Genuinely speaking, I'm a huge tech nerd, and this is by far the most it's ever felt like upgrading like an appliance. Like I felt like it was like getting a new toaster or like getting a new fridge, and even those are like more exciting in my opinion. I genuinely like coming from a 12. I almost forgot I got a new phone.
And we thought this was going to be a big upgrade.
Yeah,
because that was kind of a long time.
It was like 4 years.
Yeah.
120 hertz I actually have noticed, but it's funny how much that just quickly like blends in and you stop noticing it.
I had to keep asking what was new features.
Yeah, and it's just, I think the 16 Pro is the least excited or the least like pumped I've been about a phone. My mom actually just needed a new phone, and I was like, wait a month, like don't get this one. Her sister had no choice, and
her phone broke. She couldn't type. It was really funny. But
yeah, she like lost her like HG.
Yeah, just a few letters.
Yeah, and yes,
so I just had to decipher her.
It was actually hilarious because
really
she made a notes app with all of her forbidden letters, and so she'd have to come in and copy and paste it every time. And she lived like that for a month.
Yeah, but then she was like, I need a new phone. But so because it was right now, she had to get a 16, and she was like, this is really glitchy. Why can't I take photos? Why does it crash? And that's a year later.
And because we live in capitalism, we paid this off because 0 APR. I get annoyed seeing the $55 a month roll in every month because I'm like, this isn't.
We didn't gain that much.
No, it's not. I actually, 1 year later, I would say the 16 Pro Max has been the worst iPhone I've ever owned. It's not so bad that I would look at Android, but it's bad enough that if the next one's that bad, I personally think I would look to switch.
Wow. I don't know. I like the iPhones, but yeah.
Two phones.
Sure, we can just try that.
No, I'll probably never switch because they got me too many. They got too many hooks. Yeah, I got the Max. iPads. We're screwed.
Whatever. We like AirDrop.
This is actually this is the Stockholm syndrome wearing off, and we're actually telling you, it's not that great.
It's not. We have to be honest.
We'll see what they announce on Tuesday. Will it change the game? Probably. Every year they completely reinvent the phone space. I'm going to stop rambling. This is the end of the video. I did want to try, I got this new point and shoot because I want to get like out of my apartment and like actually be in the real world and like be outside. I thought it'd just make me more excited to film. We'll see if the audio is garbage. It was actually pretty windy today.
Yeah, this was a good test.
And it was very bright and very hazy. So I've probably smoked the equivalent of like 2 packs of cigarettes.
Classic
just walking.
Wildfires.
Yeah, classic Canadian wildfires. But the, I have a website. She has a website. Those will be in the bottom. Other YouTube things, like and subscribe. I have a newsletter that I actually haven't done in like 2 months, so I'm very sorry for all the people on there.
This is my YouTube debut.
This is her YouTube debut.
Just FYI.
FYI, and show her the ring.
Oh yeah, I never.
And we're engaged.
I don't know if it's gonna.
It's there. You see it. They can see it.
You can see.
Beautiful. Thank you for watching. I'm sure this video has been wildly entertaining, and I'm sure it was only like 4 minutes. We haven't rambled even a little bit. Thanks.